They should have just booked it. I don't know why.
Oh, and that's another thing. They were stopping too many times in cars. If I'm in a car and I see white people gathering aggressively outside, I'm not stopping.
That's not my journey to stay.
If I hit her pig, I'm not staying. Like, I'm peeling off with swiftness. I'm not dealing. Especially 1930s. No way.
No way I'm not
staying.
Hi, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Dell.
And this is the Black Catch-Up, where we're catching up on iconic black media we missed out on in our more conservative religious childhood.
All right. Black History Month, we watched
The Great Debaters. This is more of our biopic section.
Yeah.
Just so that we're not constantly watching documentaries that are frankly kind of depressing.
Yeah. So IMDb for this one?
Yep, 2007. A drama based on the true story of Melvin B. Tolson, a professor at Wiley College, Texas. In 1935, he inspired students to form the school's first debate team, which went on to challenge Harvard in the national championship. If you want any real life stuff, it says the film depicts them beating Harvard in the 1930s, but they actually really went to beat University of Southern California because they were the debate team.
Champions.
Champions at the time. So though they beat the reigning champions, they were not allowed to officially call themselves victors because they were not full members of the debate society because black people were not admitted. So after World War II, so
that
makes sense.
All right. As usual, kick it off with kind of things you liked about the movie.
Yeah.
I'll kick it off. I really like the overall premise.
Yeah.
Just them kind of like learning how, or not learning how to debate, but like joining a debate team and just like going around debating and like whooping a bunch of schools.
Yeah.
So I really like the premise. And I thought it was like well executed as well. Like this is probably one of the first movies in a while where like I felt like every scene was necessary. Like there were very few unnecessary scenes. You know,
yeah,
so I just thought it was like very concise and like the story was just very well like told, well executed.
Yeah. Which is crazy considering the movie's like 2 hours.
Yeah, it's just over 2 hours. So it's at that point where like you probably could have chopped some stuff, but this one like I didn't really have anything to chop, which was kind of surprising. Like I thought it was like a very concise.
Because we're normally as soon as the movie's over 90 minutes,
cut
things out.
But yeah, no, I really like the premise. I thought it was executed well.
Yeah. I really liked. This is a really weird, like, niche one, but it's the first thing I have on my list. I liked the chemistry that Denzel Washington's, what's his name again? His name was Melvin. Melvin had with his wife. I just liked their chemistry. They weren't on screen together a lot, but the few scenes they had together were really good. I especially noted the one where he gets the letter that they're allowed to debate Harvard. I just thought that their little chemistry was, like, cute, where it's like, there's a letter for you. Oh, and it's open. Did someone read it? I don't know who did. Like, I just like that cute little chemistry. And I wish they got more of it, I guess.
Alright. I had Denzel's chemistry with his students down.
Oh, that was
especially Henry, the older guy.
Yes.
The older main guy. I like that chemistry, like that kind of mentor-mentee relationship, and that. And there were a few moments like him pushing back. I thought that led to like a bunch of really good scenes.
Yeah, that was good.
And then also I kind of like how that kind of like mentor-mentee transitioned to be Henry and James toward the end.
Yeah.
And I thought their relationship was good. And their like kind of fights in the hotel scene was like I really liked the dynamic between all the characters, like the debate team and the coach. I just really liked all those like kind of dynamics.
I really liked that a lot. A scene that I liked, not for its content, but for how it was executed, I liked the lynching scene and like add to that the aftermath of it. I thought it was just like very well acted by everyone, from them being in the car to like going back to their hotel.
Yeah, wherever they were staying.
Wherever they were staying,
like a friend or something.
Yeah, and then you just get to see everyone's kind of like reactions to that very crazy reality that they were living with, and the fights that broke out between James and Henry, and like even Samantha's character being upset with Henry, and just like that whole thing worked well. And it also gave you the quote, so it doesn't matter how good we are, so it doesn't matter how good we are, does it? And that's what James says, because he and Henry have their big fight where it's like Henry's drunk and wants to go see Samantha or something like that, and they're fighting, and that's when you get that hopelessness feeling from them. I just thought all together the emotions and the acting around that big event like just really worked.
And I think that's even kind of what he tied into that final speech at Harvard.
Yeah.
He kind of tied in like things from that like episode in that room. So yeah, I like that too. I guess on a similar vein to the lynching scene, I liked how this film put the context of being in the South at this time in the film
Yeah, it did.
without having it like overpower the story. You know, so you have things like the lynching they saw. You have things like that scene with the pig. You have scenes like Melvin getting arrested. You know, so I like how they
And
had
then there
all
was
those
also the
scenes.
scene where they were debating with that one white college, and then you just see white people get up and
Yeah,
leave.
yeah.
Like,
So I like how it like had that sprinkled in there. So like you understand, yes, they're not just debating for the purpose of debating. Like they are doing something bigger, but you didn't get kind of bogged down by like the, I guess, more like standard stories of I guess black people suffering. You know, it was definitely like that triumphant story, but it was very well put into context of the time.
Yes. I thought that. The last thing I have is I just like when Samantha slapped him.
Yeah, that was a
That
great
just
scene.
reverberated really well.
That was a
great
great
executed
scene.
slap, great executed everyone around,
perfect.
and she kind of gave that.
Like someone say something. I dare one of y'all to say something because
Yeah.
everyone knew exactly what was going on. So it's like someone say something. And I was like, all right.
And the teacher was there. Melvin was there, and he was like, I guess this is it.
At the end, he's just going. He like looks around. He's like, resolved. Okay, let's continue.
I just like that scene.
Okay. You want to get into negatives?
Yes.
Ready? Okay. You want to start?
Yes, and I think you might have the same thing as me for this first one. I didn't like the love triangle they tried to force on us.
Yeah.
I honestly hated it because one of the main reasons I hated it was that James was 14 and the other two were wildly older than him. They were of legal age, I'm assuming. I don't know if it was the time to think of a 14-year-old as a romantic prospect. I don't think so, but like it was just almost, it kind of gave me the vibe of like your brother's friend has a crush on you, like your friend's younger brother, has a crush on you, and it's like, I obviously can't reciprocate this. You are not a viable romantic option for me. That doesn't make any sense. And then I also didn't like the romance in general because I didn't feel as though Samantha and Henry should be together because it kind of was one of those relationships where it's like, well, I like you because you're the only girl here. And she was like, you're giving me attention, I guess, so I kind of like you too. Like, I didn't like it.
I had it like, I don't know, I kind of put it like a small thing I didn't like, because honestly, in the beginning, it really seemed like they were going to push that love triangle thing, but after Henry and Samantha hooked up, they kind of deaded the love triangle a bit. They had that one scene where, like, James storms off. James storms off of Sam, like, maybe I'm not happy just being friends with you. I was like, this is dumb. Like, in terms of the scenes I would have cut out, I probably would have cut out that. That's the only thing I would have cut out. Like, this
but
kind of
then that was quickly overshadowed by their teacher getting arrested.
Exactly. Yeah, and like there was so much else happening that like you didn't. It rarely focused on that. Like, in the beginning, they had that one scene where he was like fantasizing, dancing with her. That scene, like,
I liked that.
I liked that. I thought the scene was cute.
I think
you could have left it there with the whole like 14-year-old having a crush on her.
Yeah.
But I had that down as well. The other thing I had was in this one, like, I don't really fault the movie itself for this one. I thought some of the speeches during the debates were a little underwhelming.
Okay.
And I mean, you can only do so much in 2 hours. Like when you think about like an actual debate would go on for a longer time.
Yeah.
So like for you to like take like, okay, let's get a minute speech in here and have it be as impactful as the whole debate, it's kind of hard to do. So like, I thought some of the speeches were hit or miss. Like, so I thought there were some very good speeches and like very good like monologues or whatever, but some of them I also thought kind of fell flat.
I thought that Journey Smollett, who played Sam, I wish she had more to do. Just because we kind of focus more on the men as is movies, but we focus more on the guys and their struggle, and Henry kind of like grappling with, Henry and his problem, and then James is actually the person I was thinking of. I just mixed up their names. James kind of like grappling with his like father versus his like teacher, that whole thing. But like, we're forgetting that Samantha was on a debate team as a woman, and we didn't talk about that even a little bit more. Like, they kind of commented it was like, she's the only one girl here, and it's like, well, let's kind of see more about that, I think. Jordan Smollett's a good enough actress that I feel like she could have, if she got the material, she could have expanded on it well. So I wish she had more to do.
No, I would actually agree with that too. Like, she kind of was, like, I guess the third member of the group in a sense. You know? So I
kind of like she was there and she did get to give her debate speeches, but we kind of didn't get to see anything about her outside of like a possible romantic prospect for James.
Yeah, she didn't have much
Henry.
character development at all.
Like, she was like a little nervous in the beginning, but that was like, that actually doesn't count.
Yeah, they were all nervous.
They were all nervous, so that kind of like flat. What is it when you're all like?
for me, like I don't think I needed more. I just wish I like got like better debates
Maybe
almost.
that's
You know?
what it is.
And
Maybe
that's where I thought some of them felt bad.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the amount of debating was fine, but the quality could have been upped a little bit.
Because a lot of the debates just seem like disjoint speeches. Like
Yeah.
it rarely seemed like the one person was like mentioning things the other person said, unless they
Yeah,
explicitly
that's
said
what
like
it is.
as my opponent said.
Yeah.
Other than that, they
Very
just like
rarely.
got
It was almost like
you
just
know?
listening to a Malcolm X speech versus a Martin Luther King speech.
Yeah, just like you're just listening to two speeches almost.
Yeah.
You know?
So I think that maybe that's how debating really is. I honestly don't know. I'm not on the debate team, as evidence of the fact that I couldn't remember what canceled out meant. But yeah.
All right. Want to get into ratings?
Ratings.
Now?
Yeah.
All right. You want to start this one
Yeah,
off?
I'll start off. I gave this one a solid 3 out of 5. I think just that if either the quality of debating was upped or the amount of debates was upped, I would have been a bit more satisfied. As well as if the romance was dialed back and we gave Journey Smollett more to do. Just like bing, 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 then I would have enjoyed it more. But I still did really enjoy this movie. I thought it was very successful in tying their story into the larger picture of the South.
Okay, yeah. I actually really like this one as well. I gave it a 3.5, and I think to me, like again, like I really love the story and the characters and everything. So I think that like really just like made it a great movie to me. Again, like I wish the debates were almost like more impactful or just gave me a little more. Like as much as I love the movie, I would not consider this like a exciting or like very entertaining movie. Like I thought it was interesting. I enjoyed watching it, but like it wasn't like exciting. Like there weren't those like moments of like, oh yeah, like honestly, like the slap was probably the most like exciting thing. Where I was like, yeah, you know.
They don't really have too many like edge on your seat.
Yeah, and I feel like they could have used those debates for that. You know, like a stronger debate, you could have had like almost similar to Marshall.
Yeah, I was
like
just
similar to
that
those
too.
type of scenes where you like they finish giving their speech, you're like, wow, like I'm
like that was wow.
You know?
Or like you hear both speeches and you're like, I wonder who's gonna win. But this one you kind of knew that they were gonna win.
Yeah. The stakes like I don't know. The stakes felt not because I wrote down the stakes felt not high per se, but like I guess the characters, I guess the stakes themselves didn't feel that high.
Yeah.
But the characters did a good job of like showing the emotion and showing those kind of things, which made the stakes feel higher than they like were. In the movie
it's like the stakes are intrinsically high because they're black people.
Yeah, because like I know what's going on.
So like you understand.
Yeah.
But it like doesn't translate.
The movie could have done more to be like these stakes are high and this is like these are the high stakes we're showing.
Yeah.
Like,
and like have both of them, especially in the final debate, have them both give like really impactful speeches. So it's like I wonder who's gonna win.
Yeah.
But then that guy said, I saw my dad die in the line of duty, and that didn't make sense to me because if he's a cop, why are you following him? Because whatever.
Yeah, but I almost would have said like if you added an extra like 5-10 minutes to this movie,
we rarely say that too.
Just put it in that final debate to make that like final debate a little more impactful. I don't know. I think it would be a little better. Or like added that 5 minutes spread around to any debate. Honestly, like just, I wish that I got a little more minutes, but yeah.
I get that. Yes.
Give it a 3.5.
All right. Final question.
Do you wish you saw it sooner?
All right.
I actually said yes for this one. I just would have liked to have seen this one in like high school. Or, like,
I was going to say the same
college,
exact thing. I feel like I would have loved to see this in high school.
I would have liked this a lot more in like high school. I will say, I don't know if I would have liked it more in high school, but I feel like I would have gotten more out of it in a sense. Like I don't know, or like I almost feel like this is a movie I feel like I should have watched in high school.
Yeah, I get that too.
You know, so I don't know if I would have like. I don't know if like me watching it in high school is like, oh, I want to see it in high school, or like someone forced me to watch it because like that happens too. Like,
I know.
Our parents are like, hey, here's a movie about black people. Like, you can see.
Yeah.
That happens too, you know. But yeah, I would like to see it in high school, pre-college kind of thing.
Yeah, same. I feel like I would have wanted to see this. I would, like you. I don't know if I would have wanted to, but like old me would have been like, hey, high school Danielle, you need to see this.
Yeah,
movie.
no, that's how I'm like me now. I was like, dang, I wish high school me saw this.
Yeah, I wish high school
me
would have
been like, yeah, I don't want to do this. I don't want to watch this.
Yeah,
you know, but
I would need to be like me, transported into the body of high school me to like enjoy it, but like I still wish I'd seen it then. Because I know high school me was not like this.
Yeah.
Would have been
high
like,
school me was like honestly, high school me was more involved with the debate community than I am now. So I think that would have helped. I don't know. Like my best friend debated, so I don't know. So I didn't go to any of his matches.
I am not a debater even a little bit.
I went to Winter's match and he lost. You know? It was funny, not because he lost, but because I guess the debate were split into 2 rounds, and after the first round, he said verbatim to me, unless one of those kids turns into MLK over this break, I'm gonna win. And then he lost, so I had to make fun of him for that. I was like, you compared yourself to MLK and took the L, so I don't know. But, yeah. Shout out to Donovan.
We really should have called him up on this.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that was the great debater. So YouTube housekeeping, like, comment, subscribe.
Ring the bell for notifications. If you have any suggestions for us to watch, you can leave them in the description, in the comments section. You can't give the description box. You can leave them in the comments section down below. We do movies on Tuesdays and Fridays, and on Sundays we do TV shows and music. All of our socials will be listed in the description box down below. And we'll see you next time to catch up. Bye. Because I even knew something was going to happen because I saw those kids watching the car in the bushes, and I was like, they're about to do some white people bullshit. And then they did some white people bullshit, and he was like, stay in the car. And I'm like, how about you're in a car, they're on their feet, leave. It was like looking to see what it was. I would have just like, honestly, I wouldn't have gotten out the car. I would have just been like, is that a person? No.
We're out of here. We're
Just
out.
kidding.